does the Olympics feel like otherworldly scale? Like societally, we elevate it, and it's such a bigger deal. But did it feel different to be there?
Definitely felt different. And I think mostly it felt different because, I mean, it is different. Like the world is just so different that you're in when you're there. The lead up, the media, the Olympic Village, the other athletes. Yeah, just the hype, like, was kind of crazy. And it's funny because like you said, do you remember all the competitions? For some reason, I do remember all those well, but I remember them well, almost as if like I'm seeing myself, not like my feelings in the moment. And I think because it was so overwhelming and like, I mean, it was, I guess, only 3 years ago, but I feel like I was so young back then. It was at a time in my life where I was just that's when I kind of started of like, I want to invest my time in this. And it was really because I was like, I felt like I was handed this opportunity of like, you qualified for the Olympics. When back then I was like, I did not think I deserved it. And that was a really weird place to be in. So I was like, okay, well, I got this opportunity. Like, I want to make the most of it. And I feel like that's kind of when things, pivoted, both like, committing to sacrifice some time off school, working with a new coach who I would love to talk about as well later. And yeah, just really investing myself in like that dream. And that was just the beginning to see like where I've come now and my kind of whole view on that. But in general, like the Olympics was just new for everyone. Like, I mean, no one had ever done this before. I remember
you were the first American climber to ever qualify for an Olympics. Yeah.
For an Olympics first sport climbing Olympics. And then, we were the first climbing Olympians to compete, and only 20 of us. And it was just a crazy experience of like, I just remember being behind the wall and it was like so intense, before speed, which is also just funny that we did speed. But,
Are you missing it at all? Are you relieved to let that go?
I actually really enjoyed speed.
No shade to speed climbers at all.
No shade.
It's so impressive.
It is just a different world.
Yeah.
I do not miss training for all three. Mm-hmm. That was brutal and not sustainable, like just so hard on the body, where I was like, I want to hangboard. I want to like, okay, I need to weight train because like, I mean, in general for like body health, but for speed as well, like cardio, need to get power, like competition style, slabs. Like, I mean, the list goes on forever. And then you're like, well, you need to be fresh for hangboarding because like that's not good for your tendons if you do it after. So I need to do that at the start, but you need to do speed at the start because you have to have fresh power. Like it was just, you can't do everything at once. It was so much to train for all three, and let alone nobody knew what they were doing. This has never been done before. So like, not like there's a, like track where they're like, okay, this is what you need to do to get this time and put the work in this. It was like, is this even working? Like, are we doing this right? Wow. Which was a really, really fun experiment, but it was
And you're like 19 at this time, right?
Yeah, I'm 18, 19.
19. Yeah.
Yeah, but speed was really fun of like, you see the progression, it's like literally day in, day out. It's like, I'm getting faster. It was cool. And just like that explosive power is like really, really cool. Okay, like I've had like I haven't touched a speed wall since the Olympics actually. But I've looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, all of a sudden I get an urge. I'm like, wait, I kind of want to do speed. Like I remember jamming out to like, I don't even know, like really bad music, but just like, yeah, insane music of like, I just need to get hyped to go as fast as I can. And like being in that mindset is so different and really fun.
Hey friends, I want to take a second to tell you about my new favorite climbing shoes. I fell in love with these this year. This is the Drone CS from Mad Rock. It's an amazing bouldering shoe, and I actually sent all of my hardest boulders in 2023 wearing the Drone CS. I also just got my first pair of the Drone 2.0. The Drone 2.0 is a huge improvement over the original, in my opinion. It has a lot of the same features as the Drone CS, which I love. It's just a little bit stiffer and more supportive, and you can really toe into small footholds and edge really well with this shoe. I really love both of these shoes, and I think they complement each other really well. If you want to check them out, head over to madrock.com and use code NUGGET at checkout to save 10% off your first order. That's madrock.com. Use code NUGGET to save 10% off your order. All right, enjoy the rest of the video. What would you listen to get hyped for speed?
Oh God, I can't even say. What was it? It was like...
No judgment.
I can't even think of the artist, but it's like the one that's like... Or like I'm losing it. That's my dad's favorite song, so I'll say that.
Okay.
By Fisher.
Okay.
It's like club music. Like I'm losing it. It goes really hard. Yeah, playing that with my headphones where I'm like, I don't like this song, but like it gets me going.
It does what I need it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people wanted to hear about your musical taste, actually. What do you listen to? What do you generally listen to for a climbing or training session? Does it depend on what you're training?
Depends what's going on in my life. I would say like what music do I enjoy listening to the most? Probably be like indie pop. Like I have a lot of mostly female artists, but not only, just like really good vocals. Like I love Maggie Rogers. She's probably she was on my Spotify top artists.
Nice.
And yeah, there's like a lot of smaller artists that are my favorites that I like to go to concerts with as well with my friends. But then climbing, I would say like a little more hype. Like I do love Taylor Swift. I feel like everyone thinks I'm like a huge Taylor Swift fan, which I am. I like Taylor Swift a lot, but I'm not like a diehard. I just like grew up with her and I know every single one of her songs. So I definitely like, yeah.
Definitely a fan, not quite Melina Costanza, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Beyonce though. Beyonce, I'm a big fan. I respect the hell. Yeah, but like Beyonce, Rihanna, Miley Cyrus, like for climbing, kind of that vibe that's just old, upbeat,
energy.
kind of throwbacks. That always gets me going.
Nice.
Yeah. But I like, honestly, I change it up. Yeah, I'm open to every genre, I would say, more or less. Right
on. Nice. So I want to ask this question. This is a heavy hitter. Buckle up. You ready? Okay.
Nervous.
So 2019 World Championships, you become the first American climber ever to qualify for the Olympics. Natalia Grossman's there. She's hugging you. She's celebrating with you. And it's, of course, at her expense. Like she didn't end up making it to Tokyo. And then fast forward to a month ago, you go to the Pan American Games. You get second. Natalia gets first, which of course means that she's got her ticket to Paris. And there's still one remaining. So we're all still rooting for you. But of course, that was like at your expense for that spot. I'm not asking about Natalia in particular, unless you want to talk about that friendship. But how do you balance those two things? How do you balance being a competitor, wanting to be the best, wanting that spot for yourself, and being there for your friends and being there for your teammates?
Yeah, that's a really good and hard question.
It seems so hard. That's why I'm curious about it. Yeah,
it's really hard and honestly really frustrating. Like the lack of spots and like the way that it does, like the Pan American Games. I mean, I'll just say like for me, flat out was just like really, really, really hard. Like going into it, first of all, I was competing, like you said, for one spot. Like it was the winner. Like second doesn't matter. Like it was just like, that's not why I compete, like I don't compete to win. Like, is it, the goal? Like, sure. But like I compete for the joy of competition. And that just like kind of felt like it stripped that away because it was like purely a qualifying event. And yeah, you're competing against like your friends, your teammates, your like lifelong training partners and like, childhood best friends. Like it was just like, I've talked about this a lot with other competitors as well, that it just felt like really almost rude to like us athletes and this just climbing in general, that it like made us cutthroat, because I think that's what's so great about climbing is that it is an incredible community with so many opportunities for like so many people to succeed. It's like, I mean, this whole season with different people winning different World Cups is like, we were all so happy for each other. It was so cool that, we got to shine in so many different ways. Like there isn't just one winner. And when it comes down to this and it's like so cutthroat, it was pretty heartbreaking for sure.